Hi, everybody. It's Geezer Bill, and I'm here today with my friend Dan. We're going to continue our series about opening tracks on albums that have really compelled us one way or another. And today we're going to talk with Dan. He's going to talk about a record that came out in 1969 and tell us a little bit about the opening track and who it's by and what it means to him. So, Dan, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I chose Neil Young's song Cinnamon Girl from his second solo album, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere. The reason I chose this one as far as a great opening track, which sort of just, brings you into the rest of the album, it has this really great, irresistible opening riff. At the time when I heard this, a little bit later, I was trying to teach myself guitar, and I thought I actually figured out the riff to it. So I thought that was great. And, it just goes to show that to have a memorable, great song, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. His second album, which released, was only several months after his initial one, which was a little bit more, I would say, country rock. And this album, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, dispelled that. I mean, even today, it's every song, the way it's recorded, there's enough room to hear the individual instruments. It's not, you're not being washed over by a lot of amalgamation of double and triple tracked guitars or sound effects. And the song Cinnamon Girl is, like many of the songs on this album, it's about boy meets girl or love and attraction. And Young's lyrics in every one of these songs, they're simple yet they're memorable. It set the template for the rest of this album. And I know it's my favorite Neil Young album. I feel he did this song as an opener to say, okay, this is not my solo record. I'm doing this now. And in a way, what he was doing at this point sort of set the template, I guess, later on for more. I know in the rock press, he's been considered the godfather of grunge and all this, but to me, this is just good, simple rock. And the neat part, what he does with guitars in this, and then his co-guitarist Danny Whitten, is they use distortion and fuzz, but it's controllable. And you can hear this on Cowgirl in the Sand. You can hear this on Down by the River. And he just, displays a real talent for keeping it simple and distorted. And, if you think what's going on here, Neil Young had left Buffalo Springfield, had started on his solo career, and this was before he teamed up with his old buddy Steve Stills and with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. It was also the debut when Neil worked with Crazy Horse, and to this day he still works with Billy Talbot, Ralph Molina. They've been, his rhythm section, Crazy Horse, for years and years. And of course, not long after that, Niels Lofgren joined Crazy Horse. And to me, they really define, the essence of, you might call it, if you want to use labels, call it garage rock or whatever. But the thing about Neil in this is he's also, you might say, the master of the one note solo. You're just banging around and you go, oh, I can do that too. Normally, I'm not a fan of high nasally singing, but in Neil Young's case, I like it. I mean, generally speaking, I prefer more of a tenor or more of a low bass sounding male voice. But for Neil Young, it works. If I was to introduce anybody to, if they're listening to Neil Young today or what he put out with Crazy Horse just last year, go back to the beginning with this record and Cinnamon Girl. And for me, of course, it's also a nostalgic journey. When people listen to Cowgirl in the Sand, you go, boy, it's kind of meandering, but you have to let it wash over you. You listen to Down by the River, and then you can go, that connects you to Like a Hurricane, which he released years and years later. Cinnamon Girl was released as a single, but not till the spring of 1970. And of course, that wasn't too long afterward. He had already joined Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Thank you, Neil, for using just the right amount of fuzz and distortion on your guitar.
It was nice and spare, like you say, but it was aggressive.
Yes, Cinnamon Girl was that's what I loved about it, because it's perfect opening track, and an aggressive, romantic song, you might say.
Now you got the right to sing the old man blues, and trade in your Playboy for some hush puppy shoes. One more time.